What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Chocolate Gumbo. We
getting
here.
a little sexy here today. I see.
We getting a little sexy. We're getting a little sexy with the crew, y'all. I'm RJ.
And I'm Kendra.
And I'm Big Keith. And it's
What
getting
up, y'all?
real in here today. Real in here today.
It's getting real today. And you know how we start every episode off? We ask about how was your weekend? How was y'all weekend? How was y'all weekend?
Hey,
Who would have kicked this one off?
I'll go first because it was pretty meek and mild, low key. I've been on my grind lately, so I've been really heavy with working all day, and so all day Thursday I was in the salon, leading into Friday because it was late when I left, and then Saturday I was working. I hung out a little bit on one of those days, but then Sunday was the highlight of my weekend. I checked him out at Chemistry. One of my girlfriends had a birthday party. I had a table of 15 out there, and I had a few other people sprinkled in the audience. We had a great time. If y'all ain't seen Chemistry or been there yet, check it out. But that was a highlight of my weekend, supporting my dude over here and bringing some other people out to support. That's what I did, y'all. I had a good time.
What you do, Keith?
I did my normal Tavern on LaGrange, Beats, Bass, and Brunch, produced by RJ, comedy by Big Keith, and Gumbo Music. The band is one of the coldest bands, even though some of the band members are professional musicians and travel all around the world, and sometimes they got to send a substitute musician. Every time it's always cracking. Shout out Gumbo Music, Tavern on LaGrange, Beats, Bass, and Brunch. And I hosted the Chicago Laugh Factory 9 o'clock show, Chicago's best stand-up. It's a showcase of the best comedians in Chicago every week at the Laugh Factory Chicago. I was the host because I'm, one of the OGs in this comedy thing, and we're finna go a little bit farther, a little bit harder. And I'm back here doing this podcast, the Chocolate Gumbo Podcast, LLC, by the way. How was your weekend, RJ?
It was crazy, man. You know what? This weekend, I finally started. We expanded Beats, Bass, and Brunch. So we got another location. We not only we do it at Tavern, but we're doing it at Glenwood Oaks right now. And it's been kind of crazy. I trying to run between both locations, but it was a dope weekend. It's always dope hanging with you, Keith, man. And then we did Chemistry as well. As Kendra came through and brought her girlfriends out. They had a great time. It's always dope. And it was pretty good. Just a long weekend, but I'm glad we here with y'all. I'm here with y'all, and we get to do our thing. You know what I'm saying?
And we always representing Chicago, North Side, South Side, South Suburbs, North Suburbs, West Suburbs.
All
Chicago
over.
is one of the best places in the world, food capital of the globe, and we represent Chicago very heavy.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. With that being said, man, we got to get in the meat and potatoes with this thing, man.
Yeah, it's about to get real.
It's about to get real.
It's about to get real.
The mood is about to change a little bit. But we just got to be on a serious tip, man. We got to talk about this news we heard, man, about these cops getting
out of Memphis, right?
Memphis, man.
Yo, the black cops that. Oh yeah, what was the guy named? That guy?
No, we don't do that. We don't do that. We're gonna read the official.
Okay, let's see what this is.
For those that don't know.
So on January 7th, Nichols, a 29-year-old black motorist, was pulled over on suspension of reckless driving in Memphis, Tennessee, and aggressively beaten by police. He died in the hospital 3 days later.
Wow.
Tyree Nichols, forever live the name.
Wow.
Tyree Nichols.
Wow.
And this time it was by our own people, 5 black cops.
It's still cops, though.
Still cops. What would cause something like that for a person to be pulled over and murdered just because of reckless driving or so-called reckless driving? He ended up dead from a police stop. That's crazy.
The thing about it is the video didn't come out to a couple of days ago. So that's the point. RJ wanted to see the video. I didn't want to see the video.
Yeah,
I don't need to see the causality of an end result. Like predatory policing is not a black or white issue, but it has been focused in on the minority communities in this America that we live in and the globe, but mostly we live in America, and black people, we live our individual lives. Okay, we live our individual lives, but when one go through it, we all go through it. Tyree Nichols could have been cousin, it's somebody's brother and cousin, niece, nephew, son, brother. So it's to the point to where it makes no sense. How can white, other nationalities of people be taken into custody and they committed heinous crimes? Reckless driving is what? Swerving back and forth, running red lights, and or speeding at a point. Like you should not have to die because you was in a car uh breaking traffic laws. When people is going in the grocery stores and shooting and really doing damage to people's lives and livelihood and health. So my thing is I don't understand why we have to die. Like I don't understand why is it that it has to be shown. Okay, it happened. Okay, it happened. But why is it that a black man can be shown being executed in the streets and it be viewed and it not be edited? Where if a dog was about to get ran over by a truck, we're going to stop the footage right before the moment of impact because it may be harmful to viewers. Like I don't understand why we have to be strewn in the streets and killed. And this police force, these 5 officers, was it's called a Scorpion, like unit to focus on different crimes. This was a traffic violation. So y'all could have just pulled him over and waited for the regular police instead of beating the man to death. I didn't watch the video, so I don't know what happened.
I watched the video, and from what I saw, it just seemed like it got escalated. I tried to skim through it. I couldn't really stomach majority of the video. It seemed like a lot of stuff got escalated, got out of proportion. There's one guy, and it's 4 or 5 guys, and it's more like this being a black man in America, just growing up and being pulled over and had traffic stops and stuff like that. It's more like a test of ego. And I just knew just with my instincts of growing up, a lot of times I was driving, I ain't gonna lie, my license was suspended. So I didn't want to, already knew it was already in the negative when I got pulled over, so I didn't want to rattle the police in any way. But I could imagine that if I had my stuff together and I was a young man and I got pulled over and I really didn't see what the problem is, then I might have voiced my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like we're as black people, we're being targeted for those kind of crimes, and we're being like, if we upset about it, then we got to get beaten up or taken in or treated like animals. But I seen people from other races flat out curse out the cops, like tell them what they ain't gonna do, and they can kiss they you know what and all of that, and none of that stuff ever happens. It's yes sir and no sir to that. But when it's us and this young black man or old black man or black women have what we seen our black people, we get done like this. And it's sad because a lot of times people want to make it a point to say, well, it was black cops this time. It was cops. That's the point that we're making. It happens to black people. We're being targeted by cops, whether they're black, Puerto Rican, or white, or Mexican, or Asian. It's just law enforcement have a thing against black America. Even when it's just something like it's a mental thing. Even our own people, they become cops and they got this stereotypical thinking of they gotta be on guard. They gotta do the most with us. I don't really understand it.
Being sassy is not a death sentence. Being verbally aggressive and you're unarmed should not be an automatic. We can kick you in the teeth till you stop talking. Predatory practices by law enforcement. Law enforcement is there to serve and protect the people who pay the taxes, to pay their salaries, to protect the communities. And for some reason, like on the blue lives side of it, the police are stressed out. A lot of the suicide rate is high. So I'm not saying that the police aren't people too, but when you see a black person and automatically see the worst thing in the world, that's a problem. When you see a 29-year-old dude driving a little gangster or crazy or whatever it's right. When driving a little reckless or however he's doing, it shouldn't be perceived as gangster. Like all black dudes with dreads are not thugs. All dudes
Definitely
in
a perception.
all dudes in a shirt and tie ain't professionals.
That's correct.
And when you see a black people, the perception is, the overall understanding is, when police see black people, they see criminals. Period. Point blank. When you see them, you see criminals. And that is the thinking that we want to undo if that is the case. But what other could be the case if time after 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 time, let's go back to Rodney King, bro.
Yeah.
It go back to Rodney King and way before him, and public lynchings where black people were put on display as something that should be killed and should be destroyed.
Like, why? Why us? That's a question that's always in my head. Why us? And I do remember I know a few people that's on the force. And I've just heard different things. Like I don't know why they target us, but it does seem like when it was like meetings or something that was said, like if you pull over a black person or of anybody of color, take them out. Like don't even give them an option to see what it is. It's just like take them out. And that's just it seems like that's the reaction from all cops. Like he said, when it's other races that's not of color, they can say anything and get away with it. They can make points and argue back with the police. I've seen these videos floating around and the police keeping calm and not really trying to take them down, not even tasing them. But you have a black person that's expressing himself and asks why he's being pulled over or, being a little compatible with the police. The first thing is to shoot them or tase them or take them out or throw them down and then things get out of hand. And then you trying to say we're being aggressive and you're trying to hold us down from preventing from whatever you think may happen. And then we're dead. It doesn't happen in other races. So it almost seems like they literally are being told, like, take them out. I don't know.
Black people are perceived as a threat, and any other race of person, well, maybe Mexican people, depending on Spanish people. People of color are perceived as a threat when a person of non-color is perceived as a civilized citizen that may be having a moment. An armed white person will get talked down until they put the weapon down. Now, if there have been people there have been homicide by officers with armed other races of people that were not brown of nature, but the propensity of it is the disproportionate numbers of the actual case numbers that they count, that they keep track of, is totally disproportionate.
Yeah.
And a white person with a weapon is perceived as somebody that can be talked down, when a black person with a weapon is something that can be instantly taken out.
You don't have to have a weapon.
Exactly.
Most times we don't, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like an unarmed person is perceived as a threat when a person with that's not black or brown with a weapon is perceived as something that can be rationalized with. Like you can reason with them. They take the time and try to talk him down, when a black person gonna get taken down quick, fast, easily.
You know what, Keith? And
according to how stuff been playing out in the history, not no official record, but you know what I'm saying. Period. What you say, RJ?
I say, you know what? I'm just so tired of our people. I'm tired of people that look like me. I'm tired of young black men and our young black sisters getting killed, not just by the police, but period. I'm tired of it. I mean, I can't speak for anybody else. And if y'all feel the same way that I feel, let us know. But I'm so tired of this happening repeatedly over and over and over again. And this got to stop. And then it's like in the hands of our own people, like for it to happen on the streets, and we talk about that, then it's like, okay, our own people be cops. And that's what we want, right? We want them to become cops. And then you go and treat a young man like that. If he had he had a gun on him, or he was doing something, do your job, arrest him. But what y'all did was gang activity. That wasn't cops. It's like, okay, that's okay. So it's okay. It's lawful for y'all to behave like thugs. It's lawful for y'all to behave like thugs. Y'all gonna control the streets and tell the people, don't act like animals or maniacs. But we the cops, we can act like animals or maniacs. How does that work?
You know what else I hate, RJ? I hate the reactivism. It's activism with something where you activate and y'all march and y'all make waves and y'all get y'all voices heard at local government, state government, federal government, and you keep going and you keep going and you don't stop. But we reactivists. We see something, then we react to it. Thank goodness that the people of Memphis and the family of Tyree Nichols begged the city not to burn, and they haven't. I'm sure, in my petty thinking, I'm sorry, if the officers was a different nationality, the country would be on fire right now.
Gotta
On
save it.
fire, on fire, on fire, on fire. Every city would have been looting all over again, and every city actually prepared for looting and the extreme protest of people who are victimized by white cops. If this would have been a white cop situation, I definitely think the outcome would have been worse. But since it was black people that just were brutalizing a human being, and as a result of that brutal behavior, that brutal practice of we the police and you just a nigga, he died. And this was January 7th. I mean, January 7th is the
Yeah, it
day
was
he.
January 7th.
So the fact that the cover up of it all, you know what I mean? It took us 20 days to realize this. It took us a year to realize George Floyd situation type shit. You feel me? So it was like, well, no, it wasn't a year, but it was a tragedy. It was somebody that they covered up for a long time. I think it was Laquan McDonald.
Yeah,
Laquan McDonald.
from Chicago,
Laquan
right?
McDonald.
Yeah,
Shot 15 times
for a long time. Did the cop get out?
It was 15. Nah, I think he's about to get
About
out.
to get out or something crazy.
Yeah, but it was 15 shots, and they hid that thing real good. They tucked it off and away so the city wouldn't burn, instead of just being forthcoming and saying, "Look, boom, boom, boom." So the fact that we have to be put on display as something that is a threat and something that should be taken out as a threat every single time is ridiculous. The girl in Texas where the officer shot into the window because he saw the gate was open, the door was open to the house, so he thought it was a break-in. He went to the back, didn't announce himself as the police. She came to the gun because she came to the window with a gun because she thought she heard some shit. Never raised the gun. As soon as she opened the curtains, he killed her. He in jail though. He got locked up. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it too, black officers, y'all about to be made an example of
I
them.
was just about to say
I was
that.
about to ask y'all the same
I
question.
was going to say that.
I was like,
yeah.
do you think they're gonna throw the book at these brothers just
They're going
because
to be the example.
they need to be the example, and they've been somebody had to be the example, right? And with this too much coming, it's like the convenient thing to do, right? Like, oh, okay, we got this brother. You know what? Cops was right. You know what? Now they see we gotta put them away. They're gonna give them the worst time.
They're gonna get life.
They're gonna get the worst time.
They're gonna get life.
And that's what's so goofy about the situation, even with the brothers doing that. Y'all went out and did that. These are the brothers and the family of the people. Other brothers did it. It's unfortunate, for all families that's involved.
It's
we
a sad
lost
situation, but yeah,
5-6 brothers in an incident.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Mm-hmm.
So now them brothers about to be done. They're gonna throw the book at them.
They ain't never.
They're gonna throw the book at them. You know what I'm saying? But they going out thinking they could do it. You heard your own people, see where they got you.
Yeah, the dude that shot Laquan McDonald 15 times, I think he got like 8 years ultimately. We have to do the research.
He got some time off, and
yeah, but ultimately he got sentenced. But it's this
he gonna do like 5 years probation or something.
I've already forgotten the officer's name. The officer Chauvin, the ex-officer Chauvin that killed George Floyd. He's trying to appeal for a fair trial. He didn't get a fair trial. What do you mean? What? How fair was it for you to leave your knee on that man's neck until he was fully asphyxiated?
Because it's not about necessarily the crime. It's the game of law.
Man, Joe. But
you know what I'm saying?
Practice of policing. It's all practice.
Yeah, the system is a little fucked up, like the laws and how we can like overturn and use the law to get off on certain things. That's when you actually think about the crime that you should automatically do time for what was done. But there are laws out here that can get people off of things like these murders and things that they do. So the judicial system kind of needs to be changed, but
it needs to be changed.
That's a whole nother story.
It's benefits to it, but there's a lot of loopholes, which is made like that purposely so that you can find ways out of certain things. So they don't necessarily mean you could commit a crime, but because of how they charge you and how they go about it, if they do something wrong or somebody's lying on their end, you good.
You know your laws, just know the laws, and you just know your rights.
Okay, all right. Let's rest in peace, Tyree Nichols.
Rest in peace.
It's such an unfortunate incident, and what I started off saying by being an activist, people, not just black people. If you have something in your life that you're passionate about, don't wait until people activate you because they're controlling the narrative. always stay activated. My young black people, 19, 18, 17 years old, that don't want to see this happen to you and your family members. If you stay activated, stay fighting for something, they make your life have purpose, but don't react and then be doing a lot of talking and a lot of yelling every time something happens in the public view, and then don't commit to it after the situation is over with. I'm so tired of going on Facebook and seeing somebody die. I'm so tired of looking at the news and seeing black people being killed by the dozens every day, or somebody being shot at. The gun culture in this country is out of control. And you know why? They built different. They said they built different. People under 35, 30, y'all came up in another era. Y'all came up in the cell phone era, internet era, an era where kids didn't go outside and play. Like Rodney King took a ass whooping, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, Rodney King took a ass whooping beyond ass whooping and survived, and told people not to fight and told people not to tear the city up. But the fact that them officers got off, that's when the shit went crazy. Okay, so Rodney King came up in the old school era. We played outside, we ran all day, we played tackle football on concrete, we played basketball, we ran, we rode bikes. His body was stronger, muscles was stronger. To take an ass whooping like that, your body got to be strong. These 5 officers in Memphis don't understand that these kids are built different. These kids ain't got the raw mad. This is a little bitty dude. Rest in peace, may you rest in peace. This wasn't no big, overbearing, strong looking crazy or beat 5 of y'all up. This was a little bitty dude that y'all didn't have to do that. What if they the body slammed someone and they head hit the concrete and they died? Like, it's the same thing. You feel me? The over aggressive practices is the same thing, same outcome. So people ain't built like that. And the gun culture, getting back to the gun culture thing, you don't have to shoot first, think second. Like, there's so much reckless just shooting, bro. Every day in Chicago, somebody getting shot at, bro, or shot, or killed. Kids in their house, people that just pulling up, parking their car,
Yeah.
just getting shot at. Just bzz, 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 like what is going on with the gun culture, bro? So that's a whole nother conversation, but it's still like the same type of mentality. Like, people are being perceived as threats. Like, even with black people, we perceiving each other as a threat. I can't ride too many places without thinking a car with tinted front windows. They ready to shoot. Like, my road rage is gone now because I don't want to get shot at. You feel me? Like, I shouldn't have to be scared of that all day, or try have to be wary of that all day. But just like with the mass shootings, you got to be where, no matter what grocery store, party at night, club you ever go to. Shout out to prayers up to all the people who California had another mass shooting just recently. So
Oh yeah,
man, please keep your head on the swivel out here. People are not working with the same mentality that we all came up with. Some people just want to see other people hurt. So please be paying attention. And black people, when you get pulled over by the police, black people, when you get pulled over by the police, it is not fair that the rules are different. But understand, operate in that energy, that the rules are different from me. So keep your license good. If you don't have good license, Uber, get a ride. If you driving and you have something on you, don't have something on you. Please do not give these police a reason. Talk to these police like they people. Don't be mad just because they pulling you over. Keep your hands visible and your movement slow. If you out here tripping, please, when they pull you out to the car, go down and just don't fight back, because it is going to be your possible last moments on earth. Okay, you have a freedom, you have rights, but the first right of human beings is self-preservation, preservation of self, life, and safety. If you know the police practice in predatory practices and you may be a little upset, talk shit, but do it very still and very calmly. And if they attack you, please have your camera phones on. When you get pulled over by the police and you see it's getting spicy, turn your camera phone, go live, call somebody, video chat, do whatever you have to do to protect yourself. But first protection of yourself must be keep your calmness about you and keep your movement slow, and do not give these people, it ain't just this white man, do not give these people a chance or a reason to kill you. Period, point blank. Young kids, parents, tell your kids you ain't tougher than the police. Period, point blank. Do what they say and call me when you can call me. Like, this has to be terrifying for people with grown kids, bro.
It's terrifying for everybody. Just being black, and that's, you got to get those instructions. We had to hear that all our life, Keith.
RJ, I'm talking about our kids don't know nothing about Martin Luther King. Our kids don't have connection to the 60s and 70s where the movement was real and they was actually getting beat down and it was okay. They didn't care. You feel me? So I'm talking about people with kids that's 18, 19, just finna start driving.
Yeah, that's scary.
Because they don't know no better, bro. They don't know that people hate on the level like this. And you think we raised our kids with rights and we had to care about their feelings. They don't care about their black life. So that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, rest in peace, Tyree Nichols. Memphis, please heal your community. Work with your police officers. People in Chicago, please get your nieces and nephews to stop shooting and shit.
It goes even deeper than what the police is doing. Us as a people today, we literally our necks are turning right and left when we leaving out of places. You know, we have to make sure we stay safe if we're going to a gas station, a grocery store, me leaving out of the salon late at night, watching my back to see if I'm about to be robbed. It's just the life we are living today is completely different from the life we lived when I was a child. You know, and I don't know the mentality of this age of people, the younger age of people that's in their teens and 20s, that they're the 20-year-olds, early 30s, they're the ones who's doing the robbing and feeling like they got to go take something from somebody to get something. Like, I'm really trying to wrap my mind around the world we live in, because we're not safe anywhere. We're not safe even just going to the grocery store, pulling in our parking lot or our driveways to get ready to go in our house. People are being robbed. I have people and I'm a hairstylist, and I have clients that share with me information that I've just been shocked by. You know, somebody pulling the gas station at 3:00 in the afternoon and get robbed right at the pump, about to steal a car, but somebody else drive in, blow the horn, and they were safe, but everything in their car was taken. And, you know, she was too scared to even call the police on the scene. She left the scene and then called the police and then realized everything that was in her car was taken, but she wasn't paying attention as well. So we literally have to watch our surroundings. We have to pay attention. There was another incident of her friend who was pulling up in her own driveway, and somebody followed her home to ask her to open her phone to steal money out of her bank account. I think, do you have Cash App or something like that? And they robbed her that way. That was something new to me. So we really have to be careful out here just as a people. It get dark earlier. We have to, it doesn't even matter if it's dark. This lady literally was asked to open her phone. Whatever they took out of her car, they took it. Then they asked her to open her phone and asked her if she had Cash App, went in and stole thousands of dollars out of her Cash App account. So it's not just us having to worry about what the police will do to us if we're being pulled over. We also have to worry about what our significant other people that we sharing this life with will do to us. With just our everyday movement. It's scary out here today, y'all.
And that's what makes it significant that it's police practicing the brutality, because the police is the one you're supposed to turn to.
Yeah.
They want you to call 911. The police, that's why the communities always want the people in the community and the police to have some kind of understanding, because when crimes do happen and when we really want answers to crimes that other black people or other people in the community are suffering from another, we want to go to the police. We want to trust in the police and work with the police. But the trust is broken when we can't even trust the police to not be mean to me because you pulled me and my grandmom over and you slammed my head on the roof. Like that, just go back to bullying, police bullying. Yeah. But you are right. Keep your head on the swivel. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch who's watching you. Make sure the same car ain't making the same lefts as rights as you. Please, when you at the ATM, make sure you don't go by yourself. Make sure you got somebody paying attention at all times when you conducting yourself in and out of the hood, in the suburbs too, because it's just in the suburbs. They're everywhere. So please always be careful. Never be at the gas station with your car running. Never be too far in your phone that you're not paying attention to what's going on.
Also, while we're talking about just that, robberies and stuff like that, just to let people know, like a lot of Hondas and Kias are being stolen. Hondas, Kias, they're being stolen with USB chargers. Mm-hmm. So just letting you know, like it's a hack that a lot of these kids found out on the internet. A lot of these cars can start up with just a simple USB charger cord. So it's out there. So
it's your club.
Yeah, whatever.
Club, the old school
whatever
club.
They need to get. I seen the picture. Somebody broke one of them joints.
Well,
broke the steering wheel. Look, no. The steer. You know the Flow Club.
Yeah.
That wraps on the steering wheel. They cut the steering wheel
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
took the car.
Yeah, yeah.
Lord.
But that still took an extra 10 minutes to
It
cut
did
that.
take, yeah, right. But it's still worth to
It's a
get it.
deterrent. So yeah, please be careful out here. Please be careful. Please be careful. Oh. These topics finna get spicy.
Oh yeah.
Let me go to the official, Lord. I can't wait. Talk, y'all. Talk. We on camera.
You know
talk.
what? We was talking after talking about all of that, you had a message, right, about somebody something you saw or
Oh, well, I was sharing with them that I literally someone asked me a question in regards to a situation that they may have dealt with or been in, and basically wanted to know why the good girls are not always chosen, or being a woman that's has a good head on her shoulder and dealing with men out here, they choose the bad girl versus choosing the good girl.
Mhm.
Why does that happen? Like, have you guys ever been in a situation where you felt like you was really feeling someone and you felt like, because you're this good girl and you have these good aspects about yourself and you doing something different than the other girl over here, being the hood girl or whatever and sleeping with them, and they always the ones that get chosen. So the question was, why are the good girls never chosen? And I was just like, well, maybe you're just not with the right person. Maybe the situation that you're in just wasn't for you. So we shouldn't have that type of head on our shoulders where we're feeling like we're not being chosen because we're the good girl, but it just wasn't. Maybe it wasn't your person. What you think? I mean,
I definitely agree. It, I don't understand. I don't know how good girls and bad girls feel because I'm not a girl. But I know how
I was
the
wondering.
man's
I was wondering where you was
perspective.
going with that. I was
From the
wondering
man's perspective.
from a
where
man's
you was going with
perspective.
that, bro.
From a man's,
On the other side.
it was a joke.
Because
I was
you
being
jumped
funny.
in with both feet, and I was wondering which way you was going.
I don't know how that. I don't know how that. But from a man's perspective, that's something that you hear a lot of guys say. We always say the good guy finished last. So it was kind of surprising me hearing that from women. Normally, it's always the guy in that predicament. The good guys finish last. A woman always want a thug. They always want a thug, and they all say they do. They don't. They want the swag of a thug, but they don't want to deal with thug problems. They want the guy to have a swag of a thug or a street guy. They want a guy with a little edge. But it seems like the nice guys is guys like that coming up. They always finish last, and a lot of guys go through the same problem as well. But like you said, it's just about perspective with me. So it's about like everybody ain't for you, like you said. It's get that person that's really for you. You're not finishing last. Sometimes we have 2-3 bad relationships or a patch of something bad, and it seems like the whole world is terrible. Ain't nothing out there. Everybody's good. This is like, yeah, you just in their funk right now. You just had a couple of bad relationships. It was just 2 people, but there's 7 billion people out here. 7 billion. We forget that. You know what I'm saying? We just look at the people in our neighborhood, at our church, at our job, and we thought we done ran across them all, and all of them the same. You don't even know all of them. So you're right. It's just
so
about who you
basically,
are.
you're saying keep dating and your person is
Yeah.
coming.
I think those are sometimes those moments are the best moments to me
Okay.
because it lets you know what you like and don't like.
I agree with that.
Like, okay, you get to see that. All right, you went through that experience. It didn't work out, but you get to reminisce and see what that person you dealt with. It's the qualities. I like this about that person. I did like those things. I didn't like them things about that person. I ain't like how they ended. So the next person, I know what I can kind of weed out what I don't like and what I do like. So everything ain't necessarily a negative because it didn't work out. That's just
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What?
I just think too many people are ready to be in love. Like you too ready. You too ready when you should be focused on you. And then okay, if you focus on you,
wait. What is too ready? What do you mean you're too ready?
you just want to be in love no matter what. You want your person no matter what. And you're gonna hold yourself accountable for not finding them. You're gonna go through the stress and trauma of all the hurt and pain that you go through over and over again, and you blaming yourself, and you're about to have a whole breakdown about the pain and trauma that it takes to find somebody. When okay, you had this person, they didn't choose you. You had this person, they didn't choose you. I had people ask me when I got married, why you choose her? Why not me? I mean, do it matter? You still over here trying to get some of this married thing. So why is you asking me why her? Like that shit right there, it don't matter because once a man makes a choice, it ain't got nothing to do with you. That's him making a choice. Like this particular situation, it seemed like the man made a choice and it turned out for the worse. So yeah, he feeling the vapors, and you sitting over here crying because you don't even know what it is that's about you that's making people choose not you. And maybe it's not you, it's them.
I mean, that's a nice twist to it. But when you God made women and men different. So we do look for love or want to be loved or have that loving environment, especially if we came from a household of love, or some people who hasn't have not come from a household of love and just want to experience that. I found myself like feeling like I just want somebody to love me for me. I just want somebody to love me because I've never felt the love. And the me growing up, my household, it was back and forth. My dad wasn't in the house. My mother loved on us, and but I always felt like I wanted that person to love me. So again, as we grow older, we do want love and want that person to love us. But I don't think that the statement you made is relevant when you're saying, what was it again? What did you say?
Too ready to be
You
in
too
love.
ready to be in
Ready.
love.
You
But
too
we
ready.
supposed to
You're supposed to
manifest.
be okay by yourself.
We supposed to manifest what we want. What's wrong with wanting to be loved?
It's not nothing wrong with manifesting, but it is something wrong with holding yourself so physically accountable for everybody who didn't choose you. So now you harboring trauma. So
Okay.
when my fresh in love ass come along and you holding all this trauma back from everybody who didn't choose you, but you want to be in love too. So when we get together, all that lava is something right under the surface of our just not to be together. So soon as something happen, you gonna all that trauma gonna bust up on me, and I'm just trying to be in love with you, and you didn't know all this hurt was simmering at the surface. You just sitting over here fucked up, and every time you fall in love, every time somebody fall in love, your mind start racing, your hopes get up, and don't get your hopes up. That's the problem. The hope is it runs eternal because it ain't real. Only thing you should be looking forward to is you being happy. Do what it takes for you to be happy. There shouldn't be a person that makes you happy. It shouldn't have to be a person that makes you happy. You should find things in your life that makes you happy. You should not have to depend on having a boyfriend or a girlfriend to make you happy or not happy. Like being in love, it makes you feel good, but being in love don't make you happy. Being in love is starting a relationship and making more work for you to have to be stressed out and work through instead of just having peace and quiet and happiness.
So you can find peace with a person, and then if you, so this is the advice that I would give.
With the person, you can share peace, but you can't have peace in the person. I'm sorry.
No, okay, correction.
Thank you.
So, but the point I'm trying to make is that even though like some people may have grown up or in a position or a place in their life at this moment where they're just ready to share it with somebody, right? Right. You may have been single for a long time and probably felt like you've been living in peace, and now you want to share that with someone. I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with wanting that, but I do agree that you should love yourself first. Like once you love yourself first and you are strong, standing on your 2 feet, not saying that you're not pursuing a feminine energy. We don't want you to be that person that's out here trying to be the man and a woman. But basically what I'm saying is that when you're for sure of yourself and you love yourself, and that energy is flowing in any room that you walk in, and then maybe that's when your person is going to come, or maybe you can do some reevaluation within yourself to ask yourself, do I love myself? Do I actually know who I am I really ready for that love that I'm seeking? Have I dealt with all of my past traumas where I can actually pour into the situation that I'm praying, or the person that I'm praying God to send to me? So maybe if you're out here looking for love and wanting to be loved, just make sure you love yourself first, and you've dealt with all those past traumas to be able to survive in the loving relationship that you looking to have.
It's been people who love themselves, who've dealt with their traumas, who got money, who got everything together, and still so goofy over being in love that they can't fucking focus or concentrate, and it's really tearing them up. So you have to really understand that love is a drug. Being in love is a drug. It releases neurotoxins. Do you know that? It's down to it's genetics. It's down to the molecules. It's down to biology. When you're in love, and that in love feeling, oh, he loved me, and that's neurotoxins being released in your brain, like a dopamine thing. You feel me? So you getting high off of that, and then when it's taken away, it's hell to pay. It's like fury. You know what I'm saying? It's like going through withdrawals. So I really believe that, because it's people that don't have nobody, ain't been with nobody in years, and want to be with somebody, or it's people that's been alone that's good alone. Everybody ain't a hopeless romantic like you, Miss Kendra.
I could be a hopeless romantic and still be strong in what I stand
That's
in.
what I just said.
I want that in my life. I'm out here single, dating, going out hanging with people. Lately, men just been coming at me
Uh,
like dang, like what is it? But I want my person, and I'm being approached a lot these days. And
You
I'm
being
single.
approached.
I am being approached a lot these
What do you
days.
mean approached?
A lot of men has if I'm out, if I'm hanging out with my girls or whatever, a lot of men has been literally asking me out lately. And I've entertained some conversations, and I know what I'm looking for, I know what I want, but I've been having fun with it. And I've been having fun with dating for the last three
Well,
and a
I've
half
been having
years, and
fun too, and women been all over me too lately. How about that? Yep, I've been women been throwing themselves at me. Big Keith, please don't leave. Stay with me. I'll take you home. So you ain't the only one that had people all over you while you trying to up here showing out. I've had men all over me lately, and they have just been all over me, following me.
Hey, it's the truth. Enjoy
I
y'all
don't
single
blame them.
life.
Hold on, I don't blame them. Look at you.
I,
You the American dream. A black woman with her own shit, doing her own thing with multiple revenue streams, look good, drive a nice car, and you don't need a man for nothing. That's gonna make men, when a man see a woman in her own mode, I don't know what they want you for, but when I'm telling you that shit is irresistible, it's irresistible. And the
Well,
thing is, when it comes down to what people want, ladies, be careful. Fellas, be careful. When people are attracted to you, be careful to wait and see what they want. Don't play all your cards at once. Don't just shun people away and don't accept people all the way, and wait to see what they really want. Some people want you for them. You know what I mean? As a possession type of thing. They just want to have you to have you. And then the special people are attracted to you because of you and who you are and what you are. And they get to know that, and they get inside of that. And then you get to see what I'm saying, where y'all link up or not. But be careful out here, because signs from the universe, man. Please be careful, because people are crazy out here, and y'all so desperate to be in love. Not desperate to be in love, but so longing to be in love that y'all on sites. And I can't believe as many people on dating sites and blind dates. People still
I
doing
think
blind
people
dates.
I think people feel like they're missing out. That's really the whole
with
thing.
missing out in regards to not having a mate, is what you
I
said?
think women feel like that. I think women feel like that. They missing out on something. I don't think necessarily it's a guy thing so much. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like we're missing out. Like women feel like they're missing out. They gotta have, it's like a status thing. Like I think when little girls come up, they think, they know how we think of little boys probably figure out, okay, I want to play basketball, I want to go to this school, I want to do this, I want to do that. Girls think, oh, when they 12, oh, I want to have this kind of wedding. They ain't even see the guy. They just know, they know how the wedding gonna look. They know what kind of cake they're gonna have. They know what the dress. They already got all of that picked out. So I just think it's a difference between your expectations on what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy thing of it is that a woman knows deep down, a piece of a woman knows that there might be a chance she might not get married. She might not ever get married. Or if she got married, she might not get married again. A guy knows that it's no only way he won't get married if he don't want to be married.
Men don't think about marriage.
We don't think about it because
Marriage
it's
is
not
not a
even
real thing.
it's not like we're not thinking about marriage with a time thing like, oh, I'm getting old, I need to get married, I got to find somebody. No, we're not thinking about that because we know if we really want to get married, we can get married. Now, who you get married to, that's a different thing, but a man can get married. A man can find a woman and get married. Period. Because most women want to be married. It's not that easy for women. So it's a pressure there. So then you coming with this pressure, you coming with your issues and stuff like that. Like Keith was saying, you got something brewing there because you got trauma, right? I'm digging you, you digging me. You got a little trauma there, but let me do something slight to remind you of something you went to the past. Now you tripping. Now you don't realize you tripped like that, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm looking at like, man, I was gonna lock her down, but she showed me the little cuckoo side of her. I don't know if I can deal with that.
When men is out here young, in my experience, when we out here young and just learning how to be ourselves around women to get whatever we want out of the situation. If you want a girlfriend or whatever, if you want sex or whatever, however it go. If you just want a girl to take out and show a good time, and you know what I mean, however it go, we're not thinking about marriage. We ain't thinking marriage ain't even a real thing to the most men 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I'm not thinking about that.
The marriage ain't even a real thing. I'm thinking about my life. Now, females on the other hand, especially the ones over 30 now, they not finna give you no years out of their life unless marriage attached to it. Like unless it's the potentiality to be married. Just like the what we was referencing earlier. That person right there that want to be in love. She don't want to be in love just to be in love for 17 more years and not. She wanted to be loved to be married and with her person forever. And they have whatever they got. They go through whatever they got to go through to be happy type of shit. She don't want to be in love just to be in love. Kick it, nigga, kick rocks. Like, fuck out of here. Yeah. So marriage is something that women feel like the clock is running out on. And men to stretch your ass out till you 65. You know what? We might as well finally go on here and get married.
You know what? I'm 72. You know what? We were playing them games.
Why is that? Like that just makes
because
no sense.
Because
we
there's
go to the nursing home. Might as well go ahead and lock it up.
Because there's too much stipulations on a man to be a husband that takes preparation to be a successful husband to a wife, and it's not the same preparation the woman needs. The woman can be cute, fine, and whatever, and okay, if the man like her and he want her, whatever, cool. But a man got to be a provider. Y'all say oh, I got you, baby. We gonna build together. Y'all say all that, and y'all get in the trenches. And I'm not saying that women ain't out there doing it, because y'all are. It's especially black women. Y'all know y'all can hold us black men down. Y'all been doing it for years. We do appreciate it. But y'all get frustrated, even the good ones. And it changes. Y'all want to give the man none no more. Now he out there looking crazy. Now he gonna cheat because you ain't giving him none. So it's a whole bunch of stuff, because all of that, women are stimulated sexually through mentally. You know what I'm saying? That gets them going. If the man at home and y'all feeling like, oh, I'm bringing the bread home all the time, I don't care how fine you think he is. I don't care how big you think he is or how good he do it. It's going to wear you out mentally, because like, yeah, well, the sex is good, girl, but I'm getting tired of old Ray Ray on the couch, and I'm tired of paying the rent, and I'm tired of this. I hear it's time and time again. So there's a lot of things that a man has to be ready for to be a husband, to be a leader. A woman already wants to be married. She's ready to follow. But a man has to be prepared to lead.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that in my preference, I like a woman leader. I was raised around all strong black women. My grandmother was the strongest person on the earth when I was a little kid. I feel like she could move mountains. She could be the Hercules. Like, this lady was the strongest person I've ever seen in my life. So to see the entirety of her life, my mom, my aunties, all of them people were strong women. So I need a strong woman in my life. I don't need no pushover. I don't need no I'll follow you. No, I need a woman that'll lead while I feel like chilling. You feel me? So I do see what you're saying, RJ, and RJ is exactly right, people. When a man is not providing or at least matching this lady's energy in a relationship, it's always going to be unsatisfaction. Like, a woman is perceived to be more okay if she doesn't do anything but just make sure the house okay, make sure the kids okay, make sure everything is okay, shop and do everything that I can't do because I'm at work 12 hours a day. Like, be my business partner and my mate and the runner of the house to take care of the kids, to do the, you know what I'm saying, do everything that I can because I'm at work and making the money and bringing the money home. And when I come home, I'm tired and just want to sit here and chill. We take our trips, you know what I'm saying, we spend quality time, like a functional relationship like that. But it's a lot of instances where women don't work and the man is unhappy. Like, these men are unhappy because the women ain't kicking in. And like, the old setup was, I work, you cook, you clean. I bring all the money in, you take care of all the other responsibilities, pay the bills, take care of the kids. That's the give and take. But now the new age of people, If listen to me very carefully, chocolate gumbo audience. If y'all ain't meeting at the top of that mountain with everything, y'all ain't gonna make it. If you ain't paying some of the bills and I ain't paying some of the bills, we ain't gonna make it. If you don't clean up sometimes and I don't clean up sometimes, we ain't gonna make it. If you don't cook sometimes and I don't cook, like if y'all ain't pushing all the chips to the middle of the table constantly on an everyday effort, y'all ain't gonna make it. Or whatever system, whatever setup y'all have nowadays is cool. But I'm telling people who are newly, like people that's been together for 20, 30 years, cool. Or if you meet a neurologist or some kind of a very balling ass single person that wants to be involved with you, wants to love you, and no matter what you do, they got you. Okay, but still, 9 times out of 10, modern relationships, I'm paying some bills, you paying some bills. You clean up sometimes, I clean up sometimes.
So are you
You
saying it
do the
should be
laundry.
50-50?
What for 100 100? You do the
Oh,
laundry
okay.
sometimes, I do the laundry sometimes. I know she can't cook today because she done did hair, she done showed 2 houses. So if I get home before she do, I'm straightening up the kitchen, straightening up the living room. I'm making sure she got some food to eat when she get home because I know she gonna do the same shit for me when I'm out all night doing comedy. I'm talking about you. But just you said speak it into it. Did you say speak it? Did you say speak it? You said
Yes,
speak it.
speak it.
Okay, cool. But what I'm saying is we got to be always pushing our chips to the middle of the table to make it work. That's,
I want to say this too, Keith.
go ahead, Archie.
For the brothers out there too, I don't care if she's Oprah Winfrey. As a man, even if she say I got it, get on your hustle. Now, appreciate that queen, and that's great. Not saying don't appreciate somebody having your back or nothing like that. Be receptive to it as well, but don't get comfortable with no woman doing that because it ain't gonna ever end well. It won't ever end well.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
And I got a woman that agree with me.
Hold
I
on.
mean,
Fuck them two.
no.
Fellas, if you got a chick that got a bag and she say, all you got to do is spend time with me and be good to me, take the money, motherfucker. Don't listen to
Women.
RJ.
Bullshit.
Don't
Women.
listen to RJ.
It's
Don't
a
listen to
Women.
Kendra.
It's a
Don't be
trap.
that
Because
person.
I'm one sugar mama away from getting out
Fuck
my
what
mama
he's
house. Do you
saying,
hear me?
okay?
I'm one
Get-
sugar mama away.
Get your sugar mama, King. Get your sugar mama, dog.
I'm one sugar mama away from getting the fuck out this lady house.
This is a prime example of what you should not want to be with.
Because look,
See,
listen,
I'm telling you.
Listen.
I do dishes, I vacuum floors, I back rubs, booty massages, I run your bath water. I'm gonna be out all night, but in the morning I'll be back with breakfast and flowers. All the sugar mamas, look in my face. It's me you looking for, baby. I'm a big old. That's why I got on this shirt. I look like a big
That's
sugar
why he
baby.
looking
I'm
for
a
a sugar
sugar
mama.
baby, and I'm ready to be on the boat. I want to be a bad bitch on the boat for you, baby. Do you understand? I can be your bad boo on the boat in the summertime. I know your feet hurt. I rub your feet. I know you got arthritis. I got some arthritis cream, some weed, some infused with marijuana. Like I'm talking about from 68 to 88. I'm ready, baby. Do you understand me?
And them the women that want that.
I'm saying King. I'm saying King. You can't get it's some out there. It's some out there that want that. It is.
The
But
women that ain't found nobody and tired and need
See,
that and
and-
had
and
gave
that's-
everything else
see,
they
see,
felt.
And
That's the woman
I'll
that
be
want
faithful. I'll be faithful enough.
enough.
that. Lord, Jesus.
Faithful enough. That's all you need to know.
Oh, y'all, all the sugar bombers, please hit up chocolate gumbo for my brother.
Please, please.
And the sugar daddies
Please.
for
I
Kendra.
agree with this dude though. I agree with RJ.
Yeah,
ladies.
you can play
Gentlemen, listen.
you can pay 80% of the bills, 78% of the bills, and do 10% of shit around the house, and women be way more satisfied than you paying 100% of the shit around the house
And
and
don't do
paying
nothing.
10% of the bills. I'm trying to tell you.
Let me tell
Am
you
I lying?
something. Appreciation is appreciation, and
I
it goes
need it all. I
and,
need it
and,
all.
and it goes person to person as well. Everybody needs something different. That's why chocolate gumbo is going to be here for everybody because all of our ingredients fit your lives differently.
Yeah.
Everybody needs something different. So somebody that's working, all they may need is a little time because people are busy. You feel me? Very, very successful people are oftentimes people who don't have a lot of time, females and males.
Yeah.
I mean, they flying state to state, they doing big deals, and you cannot impress somebody who's around millionaires all the time, fellas. You just got to be true of heart and true of spirit. You're not gonna be able to impress no high value female, and she always around power guys, old guys, young guys, lawyers, doctors, scientists. She always around people that are influential. So all you have to do is be yourself, have some self-value, have some self-worth. Every female that's top notch is not so not understanding what she understanding and meet you where you at, but just don't think you got a shot. But just say it, be yourself. You don't have to be something that you're not. And look, sugar mamas, I'm here. RJ married. He ain't think about y'all. I'm here for y'all.
Lord Jesus.
I'm trying to get a
What is
house.
going on
I
today?
need I need to get a trucking business started. I got a couple of little LLCs going on, so I need your investments into my endeavors. Potential. I got high potential.
You try to get a sugar mama team. You try to build
a team of sugar mamas, baby. Miss Gladys, she live in Nebraska. Miss Ola, she from New York. Miss Edna, she from South Holland. I'm gonna have a solid team of silver surfers on your ass, baby. I'm gonna put these silver surfers on your ass. They got a long little checkbook. You understand me? Ever since Mr. Henry died, she had that paper. You understand me?
You know what, Kings? He right. He right.
Women
been doing that for years.
For a long time, y'all. I don't know what's out here in these streets, but I'm gonna need a man that's gonna like provide. You know what I'm saying? Although I can provide for myself, but if you come into the table, you gotta come to the table with something, because it's not gonna last. Like it'll get old after a while. You can rub some feet, rub some back.
She telling the truth right now.
You can have great sex, but at the end of the day, you still need that balance somewhere. You need that balance. The balance is important.
Yeah, I think women just like being that's a part of their security. And it's not like I said, fellas, women don't mind even doing. It's women that will pay half the bills with you. They just want you to bring your half. Or bring something to the table, and it's and not saying you could be down now and get a baller woman, and if you got potential and you're a hard working dude, that's not stopping you from getting a woman. If they know you busting your ass and out here they'll mess with you, you know what I'm saying? But don't think it's gonna be sweet that you ain't doing shit.
Don't get a woman.
That ain't gonna
if
ever
she
work.
Gonna give you a shot. Don't get comfortable.
That ain't gonna work
because potential. That word you just said, potential.
Go out the window quick.
It works in the beginning. Oh yeah, he's great. He got potential, but ladies, do not just fall in love with the potential, because what if he never meets the potential that you saw in him? What are you gonna do then?
It's the conversation amongst y'all, the women, that y'all can't even handle. It's the woman got to explain her guy to her girlfriends. So he still ain't working, girl. That's the part. That's the part that's the part. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, that you can't get too comfortable. Fellas, always stay on your hustle. I'm not telling that you can't reach for who you want to go to. And I'm not saying all women are gold diggers. I know there's some super dope black women. There's hustlers, some independent women. There's go-getters. And they ain't looking for somebody to take care of them. But they look at somebody to match their hustle.
And let me tell y'all something.
Or have one.
Chocolate Gumbo audience. It's women out here that are taking care of grown-ass niggas that are miserable. And they don't know how to get out. They done had kids by this nigga. He doing all kind of shit. And they're suffering right now in a terrible relationship. All of us have been in terrible relationships. And we're speaking from a point of, please evaluate your situation. If you can leave, leave. If you can't leave, make you a plan, get your shit together, and stop taking care of people who won't take care of you, who can't take care of you. Or if this person that you're taking care of is depressed and mentally just checked out, get them people some help and get them back on the right track, because there are situations where both of y'all was doing everything in the beginning and one fell off and now they just down, and you overdoing everything, and you getting overworked and overstressed out and overburnt out, and they just down in a place where you don't even know where they at because you can't slow down to check on them. So please, 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 please stay on top of your relationships and your lives, because when it start going bad, if you don't start turning that thing around, you're going to go be doing down the wrong road for a long time for no reason. And you will lose what y'all had to where y'all fell in love. And then y'all will start hating the fact that y'all still together and don't have what y'all had. And then that hate is going to make other hate possible. So please, 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 please love yourself, love your situation, work hard at it, sacrifice for it, find the right fit for you, and make it keep fitting. Don't just think that one fit where y'all first met gonna keep fitting. Like Kendra said, the potential of what y'all thought y'all was gonna be is gonna be matched or unmatched by reality. Please don't ever underestimate the power of just being realistic in these situations and relationships. Don't brush shit under the rug, because the shit under the rug will be something that keep tripping y'all up the whole time y'all together. I'm trying to tell you right now. Oh, I found the tea, everybody. We spoke on this a couple episodes ago. And this is something that kind of goes into what we're already talking about. Finding your somebody, finding your person. I just want my person. I just want to be in love.
What you got over there?
TJ Holmes and Amy Robach reportedly fired from ABC over several accusations about their relationship and Robach's, the lady, Amy's, alcohol use mentioned in the mediation.
Whoa.
So they done found the right person and got fired from their $1 million TV broadcasting positions. Just like the Celtics head coach didn't just fire, because if the Celtics
Ime Udoka, just touching back on this subject, if he would have had sex with anybody else in the world outside of the Celtics organization and got caught cheating on Nia Long, that nigga, that brother would still have his job. Yeah, you had the job.
He would still be $1 million, multi-million-dollar head coach in the NBA. Black head coach, which we don't have many of, but they are giving, the NBA is making the coaching multi-diverse. Okay, so these two people on ABC. ABC is the parent company of Disney. You know, Disney is the parent company of ABC or one or the other.
Do they still get paid?
Bro, they got fired, bro.
I mean, sometimes fired. Still when it's a contract, you still get
fired.
Fired.
No, but it doesn't matter. And certain things when you got a contract,
listen, RJ,
it's you get paid. They got to pay you out from your. Okay, you're not going. You're not.
No, I'm listening. I want you to make your point. Make your point.
No, I mean they're fired. Okay, they're fired. Keith is right. They're fired. But I'm just saying, like, as far as basketball, coaches get fired. They do a 5-year contract.
Over performance. Where you leading this team? Are you leading us to the playoffs, the championship? Or are you leading us back down where we could just restart the whole team and start over?
Right, but they still get fired. But what I'm saying, regardless of what they get fired, if they got a 5-year window and they get paid, let's say $25 million for 5 years, they still got to get their $25 million.
I'm not worried about that, RJ. I'm just saying these two people found love and lost the most prolific.
So they in love now?
TV. Bro, I wouldn't give a damn if they wasn't, bro.
So because they chose each other,
they got fired. Of course, according, it has to be some clauses in their contract.
It's like work clauses, right? You're not supposed to. Is it called? What is it called? Nepotism?
I don't know what it's called, RJ, but they lost their job over being in love with each other.
Or having sex with each other.
Whatever you want to call it. If this scandal wouldn't have came out, they would still have their jobs.
So you saying that pussy wasn't worth their job? No.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, I don't get it. Like, I
ain't losing my goddamn job.
I'm not fucking the girl at Amazon. I'm just started this job at Amazon. I'm not finna fuck nobody at Amazon.
Is that worth $21 an hour?
No,
I don't think so.
No. I gotta pay my car note, bitch. My car note. You can't take no coochie to the car note, people. Look, I lost my job, but I got the coochie. At least $1,700 worth of pussy right there. Anybody got change for my car note? $1,700 worth of pussy. So I'm saying though, like it's just wild, G. It's just wild. Like, it's just really wild that people find love and can't put it in its proper place. You know what I mean? Y'all so in love that you got to fuck the general manager's wife, Joe. You ain't that attracted to this lady, bro. Because I know Udoka ain't still messing with old girl.
Nah.
And I know, and Nia Long was all over Omarion. Did you see that? People, watch out now. Nia Long had Omarion at the awards, like, oh, come on.
I was just taking pictures.
She's trying to get that watermelon surgery. Yeah, she's trying to get that watermelon surgery.
I know how these other women be. They'll be playing. They'll be playing.
Y'all seen Omarion eat that watermelon in concert? He wasn't doing that shit just because to eat no water. He didn't eat no nutrients.
He pointed to the girls. The girls like, this is you.
That nigga ate that watermelon to the rind. You know? and was pop locking the whole time, just eating it at the rind, just eating it to the rind, just spitting the seeds on the audience. They're like, "Oh, spit the seeds on us." Nia said, "Oh, that nigga eating watermelon to the rind." Okay,
I got some watermelon for you.
you hit me.
God.
So yeah, their little creeping thing turned into a whole situation, bro. So just be careful out here, people. Be careful. Kendra, you asked a question earlier about something you wanted to propose. What was that question, or should I?
What was the question? Remind me.
Okay. Well, Kendra said that fellas have a better cutoff game than women. And I want to pose this question to all our. This is our first big question. Chocolate Gumbo podcast subscribers on all social media. I need you to chime in, ladies and fellas. Whose cutoff game is more swift and more like hurtful and more vicious? Is a men when men cut women off, or when women cut men off? Which one is more vicious and why?
I feel like men have a better cutoff game
What made
than
you say that?
women. And when I speak of a cutoff game, I mean like, for instance, and the men to me have more control over situations. So if a man is dating someone or talking to someone or whatever the case may be, and the woman is feeling him, right, or vice versa, it just seems like a man is more focused on his decision than a woman is, and she can't do anything about it. So this is the reason why I feel like a man cutoff game is better, because they have more, to me, control over the situation. Whereas if the woman want the man and he be like, nah, I'm good, he gonna stick to that. If it's, to me, turned around on the other hand, and the woman, I don't know if we more soft or what it is, like we may give them a benefit of the doubt to change our mind. Why we can't be that strong to stick to our point and our decision, like I feel like a man can. And that's why I feel like they cut off game is more stronger. Like,
I don't know about that.
you don't agree with
you
that?
need to do your research.
Because y'all
darling.
men, like y'all don't show that much emotion or show that much like y'all care. Y'all could just be, you may be feeling the woman and be
Kendra,
like, I'm done.
You just said on this podcast that people talk to you every day.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you ain't talking to everyday working motherfuckers though.
No.
No, right. So you cutting a lot of that means a good 10% might get a text or something, right?
That's
I'll tell your cutoff game a
true.
little strong than you think. Think about how much action you would get approaching you versus we get as men. Women don't really approach men. Even if we on stage and stuff, they might be like, ooh, Keith. They won't say ooh, Keith, but they don't approach men like men approach women. So with that being said, a lot of men are approaching you. You're turning shit down.
True.
But I think she's talking about cutoff game as far as y'all already dealing with each other.
Yeah.
Y'all already grinding and getting down or whatever, and y'all going through the motions. And I still say, Kendra, sorry, when a woman's fed up, when a woman is done with you, bro, sorry, that game is over with. You done played all the games. You done lied all the lies. You done brought all the flowers. You done apologized. That cutoff game is swift. It's emotionless, and I don't know what you talking about.
No, but that part is true in that aspect. I agree with that. But maybe it's just like depending on the person and who the person is and who they're with. Because sometimes a woman, we give men more chances than they give a woman, is what I'm saying. And to me, that's cutoff game.
I don't know about that either, but yeah, I would say this, Kendra. When it comes to a woman, if you send her off, you getting cut off, fellas. I'm sorry. If you send a woman off, if she a real woman now, I'm not saying a chick that is gonna keep giving you chance after chance after chance. And I'm talking about when you dealing with a serious ass woman, you got one time to be dishonest, to be disloyal, to get caught on bullshit, or to send her completely off like a date or something you said you was gonna do that you didn't do. After you do that, even if she still talk to you, she not fucking with you no more. You luckily if she conversates with you or text back and forth or chat back and forth with you at all. When a woman cuts you off, bro, it's over with. Like it's over. And that right there, I'm sorry, women cutoff game. But I think that you could say a man's cutoff game is swifter than a woman's, because women, y'all be looking so much into a man for what you want. You look past the obvious.
That'd be the problem.
You look past the
Them
fact
red
that
flags.
you look past all the shit to see what you want. And men look at y'all and we automatically see what we don't want. Like I will say this:
So
when
it's
you,
the opposite.
it's the in love factor. When you in love with a person, men and women, you look past what you should stop and keep going because of what you want, the in love feeling that you have, or what you see, what you want from the situation. You'd rather deal with that than to not deal with it. And then when it happens on the other side, when things fall apart, you're like, oh man, fuck her. Like you mad now because you thought you had something and you didn't. So I don't. As far as the cutoff game, I don't know. I think women have a.
It's a lot of goofy guys too. Because I felt like you was making a reference of women being vulnerable or emotional and be like, oh, okay, all right. But there's a lot of guys like that too. There's a lot of
Really?
yeah, because we call them suckers. As
Dun,
men.
dun, dun.
Yeah, for real. And I'm just speaking as a man because I mean we're men and we heard me and Keith heard many of those conversations about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you a sucker, or whatever. But I, guys give women chances as well. They don't really cut them off. And guys also we're a little wired different. So we know you crazy, right? We know you crazy, right? But we want to smash. So we won't cut you off so quick. So I think guys will mess with a crazy woman because they like smashing them versus a woman. If a woman done, it don't matter how much she likes. I seen women do that. They could love you breaking them off or whatever, but then when they're done, it's like they can act like you wasn't working with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Woman can make you feel like, oh my God, you met Dingo Warrior. And then when they mad at you, it's like, all right, well, yeah, that wasn't, you can go ahead on.
Well, you said something very powerful, RJ. Women are mental and emotional, when men are just physical. And then we're physical first, then emotional and mental. And women are mental and emotional, then physical. So that plays a part into how things, people expectations of what should happen and what don't happen. That flips it on his head, kind of, so to speak. Like women are looking for the man to finally show her the, oh yeah, he the one. Oh yeah, and then when they finally show her he the one, they all in. When he still may be on the fence, he still may be trying to figure out what's the best move to make. And you looking for something in him instead of just talking to him. You looking for him to show you that. So when he show you, you going blind, where he ain't even opened his eyes really yet to what you really own. See, a lot of times that be the situation too, and then feelings get hurt. And oh, like I said, oh, I've always been the type of person to put my foot in my mouth or do something goofy, and the woman be like, "Nah, see, I knew you was on that. Never mind, boo boo." Like cut off quick. And I've never really had it easy, like being cold hearted to women. I've always had more of an emotional side. Like I told you, I was raised by women, so I'm not such a cold hearted person to where I want to see you suffer, even if you know what I'm saying. I want to see you do good if it's with me or not. So I don't want to have somebody that I cared about out here sad looking stupid because I decided not to be with them. And they go back over to the getting chose over question again as well.
So I have a question, and if we got time for another question.
Come on.
So when we date,
Mhm.
men and women, if y'all in a dating situation, right?
Mhm.
And for some reason it just didn't work out on whomever part, is it okay? Do you feel like it's okay to ask the person why? Like, why do you feel like we didn't work out? And if you feel like that's okay to ask the person why, if you were being asked that question, would you give an honest answer? And would you be okay with answering it?
Yeah.
So it's two questions.
Yeah, it's two questions.
So would I be okay? First, would I be okay with somebody asking me that?
Yeah.
Depend on the person.
Why?
Because
You dated them.
yeah, but every situation and okay, there's two questions. So first, would I be okay with somebody asking? And then other question was what would I be?
Would you be willing to give the answer? Would you respond and
So,
give it honestly?
It depends on the person and the situation. And that goes for both people. Like everybody's not a talker. Everybody don't like really explaining themselves. If you really care about the person and y'all really at a level-headed place, even if y'all breaking up, that y'all can really talk and be okay, then that's cool. But if y'all not at that place and y'all still emotional and it probably ain't time for that conversation yet.
What if
Sometimes
it happened down the line? Like
if it's down the line, then it's cool. But it's also about timing. I could be married. So let's say I break up with somebody. I'm married now. I dated somebody 20 years ago. So the person I dated 20 years ago decides that she wants to ask me why we didn't work. At this point, it's not appropriate.
But okay, do you have something to say?
No, I was just gonna say that if it's not over obvious, like people like to play dumb, people like to do these overly crazy things and see if you can handle it and take it. And when you can't, they want to act like, "What? What's wrong, ma'am? You know what's wrong. You call my mama a bitch, and I told you to stop, or you keep acting crazy and you keep apologizing for the same shit over and over again. I can't deal with this, and that's what I mean, people. Please be okay with not being okay with something that somebody else is doing. Be okay with it. Don't just put up with it and put up with it and put up with it, because then they're gonna expect you to take the shit. If you're not okay with what somebody's doing, put your foot in the ground and be like, look, I don't like it when you did such and such. And if they love you, and if y'all are real enough in each other, the person will reevaluate their behavior and either change or try to change if they love you and they want y'all situation to work. But if they don't change and they keep doing that same shit, you have to accept that that's who they are. Okay? That's who they are. That's what they're gonna do. And if you're gonna take it and shut the fuck up. And if you don't like it, and you got the kids and you got the bills and you got the cars and so much shit, you got to find a way, make a plan to make yourself happy no matter what your situation is. If you got to leave. If you got to operate different, operate different. If you got to stop having sex with that person, if you got to put your foot down in some way, put your foot down, but don't just be okay with being bullshitted and not getting what you need. So in that situation, if we broke up and it was obvious, no, you don't have the fucking right to tell me why the
Maybe
fuck I
she
left
don't
your.
really know why, and
It
you
doesn't
said it's
matter though. It
inappropriate.
doesn't matter.
But you're saying it's inappropriate for a
After a
female
certain
that
amount
you
of time. He
dated,
said-
dated in
If
your
I'm
past.
married now, it's
Statutory
inappropriate.
But it
limitation.
may not be directed towards your relationship. She may just want to know genuinely, damn, why isn't things working?
It don't
for me?
matter.
I
If I
felt like
can't-
we had a vibe. Let
if
me
I
ask
can't-
RJ what happened.
So you telling me as a black woman, if you was married to me and I had an ex and she asked me that, you'll be okay with my ex asking me that? No, you won't. So at this point, if it wasn't like in a certain time
so
period,
you'd be like,
statute of
it's
limitations.
irrelevant.
right? So it's like this. So okay, let's say if you and Keith get together, right?
You say what?
And
You say what?
I'm trying to. I'm about to make it a day. I'm just saying, if you and Keith get together, and your ex-husband was like, "Hey, why we didn't work together?" He didn't ask you all this other damn time.
I would. So I'm waiting on that. So yes.
So
I
you
feel
went,
like
man. No,
you think it would be
that's a mess up, right?
disrespectful
Yes,
to
it would.
answer that question.
Yes, it would.
Let me say this. I don't think it would be disrespectful to answer a question on why you not fucking with me no more if it's not going to lead to us fucking with each other.
So that's okay. I don't think
But what's
y'all
the point
mind is
of
in the right
asking
place.
that if he didn't ask? Listen. I'm painting this situation. He didn't ask you no other time. He wait till you and him is really good to ask you that question. Fuck you. Fuck is you asking me that now? Because
that should be the response.
Yes.
To me, okay, maybe I'm being naive or whatever the case may be, but if I'm like right now, I'm single, I'm dating, so I may be questioning myself at this point. Like, damn, I've been single for almost 4 years and I've had some decent guys that I've dated. Why? What like, is something wrong with me? Why didn't it work out? So
why
if
does
I'm
it have to be?
Why
it doesn't have to be, but if I'm trying to better myself, I may want to just ask. I may
the
just want to
person
ask
that
the
you
question.
had to separate yourself is the person you need to ask.
Not
to better yourself?
necessarily, but we've intertwined. We had a relationship or a dateship or whatever the case may be. So if I'm trying to ask myself, how can I be better? If I feel like I need to be, or if I'm just trying to assess my life at this point, and I've heard some of these relationship advice people say that they feel like it's okay for you to go to your ex or the person you were with to ask them why this didn't work out, because maybe I'm not seeing something about myself.
She just don't want to relive the past, RJ. I think
Maybe.
her reasoning for trying to find out what it was about me that you didn't like wasn't a effort to reach out to the person that she's
that's
asking.
what I'm saying. It's not like
if
trying
you're
to
talking
pursue
to
you.
somebody that didn't work out, why am I talking to you? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you got divorced, you broken up for a reason. You gonna go and ask that motherfucker that got a certain view of you.
Okay, so I feel
Why
like
did they break up with
that
you?
deep, that's different. But in the dating aspect, you dated for somebody for 3 or 4 months.
Ask your friend that watch you date. That's window shopping. They can tell you better than they can tell they shit because they watching from the outside looking in.
You might have just made a point. So you saying don't ask the person, ask the person is
if
watching.
you ask the person, if it's not saying not at all. Let me get back to it. It's not saying not at all. What I'm saying is there's a time limit. There's a way to do it. it all correlates. But if you're saying I'm gonna wait 5 years down the line, I got a whole
That's
new
too long. It
relationship.
is a statute of
Yeah.
limitation. When
Now,
it comes
if
to
you
something
broke
like
up a
that.
year ago and y'all both single and y'all just happen to run into and y'all had a
Well,
deep
what happened
conversation,
between us?
yeah. Now that might be that's
That's
different.
what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
that's
Like
cool.
that part.
That's
Like, is it
cool.
okay to do that?
There's nothing wrong with it if you think, but everybody that was your ex ain't worthy of that conversation. They're
That's
your
true.
ex for a reason.
That's true.
Sometimes it could be just like, you know what, we just ain't gonna work out. We might be mature enough and be still cool. You can have that conversation. Every situation that's your ex ain't that.
That's true. And I'm asking this question because I saw a clip and I saw a clip of a lady and the guy. She dated the guy at some point. He has a girlfriend at this point, but she was curious and wanted to know, like, what happened between the two of us. And basically he gave her answer. The girlfriend was there in the audience or whatever the case may be, but the answer was that, you was too closed off, or you had the past situations that you dealt with, that you brought it over into this relationship, and it caused me to freeze on you, like whatever. So I from a woman's perspective, I don't know how the men think. I feel like it's okay if to ask that question if you was really feeling somebody and really didn't really know why it didn't work out. I feel like it's okay to go
But
back
if
and
you're
ask that question if they're gonna answer honestly.
If you're dating somebody and the person you're dating is saying, hey, you dating somebody and your ex come to you and say, hey, why we didn't work out, you think the person you're dating going to be okay with your ex asking you that?
You twisting the question.
No, I'm not
But,
questioning.
okay,
No,
out of
because
respect to my ex, I don't even know if I would ask the person, my person I'm dating, if he's okay with me answering this question. If I get this phone call or this text message, I might say, "Look at this, what I got. What you think?" But I might just
depends on the
respond
level.
because it may be my opportunity to say, like, "This is what happened."
I get it, but it depends on the level you with the person you're dating now, right? But if y'all serious, listen, I'm very dead serious with my wife. So with that being said, my wife considers, and me and her had this conversation. If I'm doing something that I can't directly do in front of her, it ain't what I'm doing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? My wife, this the kind of wife I have. You know what I'm saying? My wife, we can look at booties together. You know what I'm saying? She'd be like, oh, baby, look at her. Oh man, we like that. But it bothers her if I gotta like act like I'm not doing it, and then doing it's like, damn, I like doing it with you. What's the sneakiness about it?
Yeah,
It's like now it's
not
behind my back.
necessarily
So,
a sneakiness.
but it's like the whole thing of it is she not gonna be cool with it. I love her. This is my thing right here.
So she wouldn't want you answering that question
because it's opening the door. It's leaving. You're
What
trying
y'all
to crack
think?
the door.
I need to
You're
know.
cracking the door open. You're doing that for a reason. If it's closed, it's closed. Me doing that is like, what am I doing? Because it's like I'm trying to repair something. What am I doing? Because what I did, what
me? Like, I'm not trying to fix us or what it was. I'm trying to see what it was that I may have done.
Why that got to be the person? You could talk to somebody you done with now. You don't got to talk to your ex.
Quick side note: all of RJ's exes, don't fucking contact him. Okay. You got nothing left, motherfucker. All right, keep y'all bum asses.
But it's just a
keep
general
y'all
question.
Bum asses on Skid Row on welfare, Section 8 office, bitch. Don't you ever call him, because we doing good now. Oh, you understand me? I've been waiting 10 minutes to say that. Because RJ like, nigga, what the fuck you want? No, hell no. What the fuck you want?
Because
that was fifth grade. That was fifth grade. I gave you my motherfucking milks. I gave you my milks from 6th to 7th grade, bitch. And you gonna leave me for,
you want to ask me about high school.
For light skin Tony? If I'm still single, I don't even know if you in a relationship or not. But I'm still single, and I'm just gonna call and be like, hey, I got a, or text and say, I got a question. Why didn't we work?
I've
Do
had
y'all
that
think
phone
that's
call.
okay?
As a man, that's
I've
had like a booty call.
I've had that phone call.
Have you answered, or do you just blow them
I've
off?
had that phone call several times from several different females, but it was after I got married, and they were like, damn, why me? It goes back to the getting chosen over aspect of what we was talking about. Motherfuckers like, why you choose her? Why you choose her over me? What was it about me that you didn't want to marry me? What was it about me why you chose her and not me? Why me? I'm not gonna go into it, but yeah, it's just like and my point is, it goes back to when we were in our situation, did I vocalize to you what was going on with me? Did you listen? Or did you just keep going the fuck on how you was? Well, you don't have to ask me, ask you.
You talking about in a relationship?
Because listen, you're not gonna ask somebody while we're in a relationship, what about me that you don't like? You ain't that brave. You thinking that you just because y'all going on.
That's the best time you should have asked
Yeah.
when you was with him.
Yeah.
Don't ask me now.
So, but okay,
you didn't give a damn when we was going through it.
When I was asking you to be something, you kept not being it.
That's true. Like so that's in a committed relationship. Like once you decide to be in a relationship with someone, then I do believe in the communication of if you're feeling like something is off or something ain't right, then you communicate that with your significant other and you ask those questions.
Right.
But being a single woman, and I want y'all to chime in, like, ask comments, respond. I want to know what y'all got to say. Like being a single woman or man dating, and you was really feeling that other person and you thought they were feeling you too. And it just somehow you just got the cutoff game from the woman or the man was strong and you just got left behind and not knowing because they was maybe sending mixed signals. And then after a while, you be like, dang, what happened? So is it okay to ask that question? And would you answer? I want to know, like, is it okay for you to go back to that person after that time a little time has passed, not a lot, maybe a few months or something, and you're still dating? You may not know if that other person is still dating.
And listen,
but you're still dating. Would you ask? Is it okay to ask that? I want to know what y'all got.
That sounds like you still want to be with the person.
It's not about the person. It's about what happened, so you can move on and not do whatever may have affected that again, because you don't even know.
If the person you was with was beating your ass, you wouldn't have to ask them why y'all not together, right?
That's obvious.
Okay, so that sounds like you still have interest in the person. If you don't have no interest in the person, I don't have to talk to you.
Okay.
RJ, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Look, you can tell when some shit hit a motherfucking person, and I don't give a fuck what the bitch said. So what I was gonna say is, Chocolate Gumbo podcast listeners and subscribers, we're not the experts. Okay, we're speaking from our lives, our perspectives, and we're pretty wise. We've been through a lot of things, and we have accumulated perspective, which means through all of our experiences, through all of our endeavors and our private conversations we have in our production meetings, we are very careful in revealing how we really feel versus the perspective that we gain from each other. So when y'all comment, when y'all ask questions, we're going to gain perspective from that. We're going to bring you guys up in the episode and reference your comment, and maybe we can discuss your perspective as a segment, or agree with your perspective as we include it in one of our topics. So we want y'all to respond. We want y'all to send messages. We want y'all to combat us.
Yes.
We want y'all to say, Big Keith, that comment you made wasn't shit. You was just up here freestyling and mumbling and talking without no background. I believe that this, and because I'm not going to argue with you, I'm going to try to gain perspective from your comment. Now, if you get disrespectful, I'm going to get disrespectful. But if you make a comment with some content, I'm going to respect your perspective, and I'm going to try to enlighten myself, even if I have to do some research on the topic, to come back at you and say, well, according to such and such review of whatever, that this is what they say according to what we said or what you said. So I'm not going to refute that, and we want y'all to chime in.
Yeah, I want to know what y'all think. I want to know if y'all have done it. Have you went to somebody you dated while you still single and you asked them what happened? You sent me off. I thought this was going somewhere, and you just like, you done. Why? Have y'all done it? I ain't saying I did it or not. I just want to know what.
I scheduled like, I called you 5 times, but you won't call me back.
Nah, I ain't that one.
All right, I got a question. I think this will be a good one for us in this same vein. I remember now. Is it possible to be married or be in a relationship, right, and vent to another sex, an ex, or just another sex of person? So if you're a male, if a husband has a female that he vents to, and a female has a male that she vents to, and through the frustrations of a relationship, is it possible for that venting to not lead to a sex or a connection with that other person that may lead to them being in a relationship? Like whoever you go vent to, is that a person that may one day either the husband or wife is trying to prep to be the next person, or the person that's listening can't wait for the opportunity to step in and be on some finagling?
So
is it possible for them to?
It's possible for both ways. It's possible both ways.
So are you saying like a male or female best friend, or just somebody randomly that the opposite sex?
Opposite sex, period. No matter what the connection is, opposite sex, period. Like, can a husband be frustrated with his wife and be venting to his female, whoever he vent to, without it being a segue into a connection that can lead to sexual or relationship outside of the marriage? Is that
I mean,
possible?
I feel
Is
like
it
it's
possible?
Yes, I feel like it's possible if the other person that you talk to don't have an ulterior motive. Like we don't know what they motive may be, but I may be genuinely wanting to know the male's perspective on what I got to say. I feel like it's what's wrong with us having
It's
conversations with the opposite sex?
it's
Do
possible,
you think
but
it will lead to something else?
it's possible, but I don't think it's I don't necessarily
It's
think
safe.
it's safe, and I don't think it's right. Just for the thing of it, like it, it's kind of like, okay, everybody's not a dog. Everybody don't have bad intentions, but we do live in a world that happens. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes those situations, it's like you letting the water in the boat when you do that.
That's a
You
good
know what I'm
analogy.
saying?
Say that.
So you're causing your relationship to sink because you're allowing the water to get in instead of the same communication. And I realize because sometimes we do want to hear a different perspective, or it's probably easier to talk to our friends or stuff like that. And we do that with our guys, do that with their homies, and women do with their girlfriends all the time. But then when you have that other person in the opposite sex, it just stings a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? From the other person outside of that, when they get to hear, like outside of, if you're dating this guy and y'all having issues, right? You might tell your girlfriend, right? Cool. If he tell his boys, you probably ain't tripping. As a girl, you know what I'm saying? You probably ain't tripping, but it's a little different. He tells Sally. Now you might know Sally, and you might be cool with Sally, right? And everybody, it's not like Sally on no bullshit, but as a woman, it might hit you a little different because it's like,
Why are you having this personal conversation with her?
when you
Have it with me.
have it with me, right? Because Sally can't do a damn thing about y'all shit.
That's
She can't do nothing but listen and hopefully probably give him some sound advice or be there for him. But pretty much now you asking Sally to comfort him. How that goes. And it's the same way with a woman. You asking that guy, you got your husband you could talk to, but you want to talk to Bob. And Bob is cool. Your husband know Bob. All of y'all hang out.
Bob married.
Bob married. Yeah, all of that. And probably ain't no intent and nothing there, but that's a comforting moment.
So the question was, is it okay to do?
Is it possible for it to not to lead to a
So it's
sexual
possible if
situation?
not. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. Initially, I feel like it's possible, but you go to that same person so many times and find
Confide. It's all
and confiding in them,
Mhm.
and then they may get there's a possibility that it can lead to something else. So
Yeah,
it's better to just communicate with your significant other and try to fix it that way, and
Not
go
possible.
from there.
Sorry,
But
sorry,
I still
sorry.
kind of think it's. I'm not gonna go with the not
No,
possible.
No, you cannot vent to the person that you need to vent about. Sorry, unless y'all got an extremely extraordinary connection and bond to where you can be completely pissed off, because what people say out of frustration is not what they really mean. It's just the extreme emotion that goes along with whatever turmoil is happening at that time. I've called my wife or ex-girlfriends, I'm not going to say my lovely mother because I only call my lovely mother, but people, friends, hold on, male friends, when I'm speaking out of emotion and stress, I'll cuss anybody the fuck out. Kids too. I'll call them all out to myself in my car, you know what I mean, while I'm alone. But if you got somebody to vent to, it's different. You're not venting just because people listen to me. Well, that's what they say. Be careful what come out of your mouth, because you talking to the universe. You're talking to the ether. You're talking to the God spirit, the God energy, and the God force. So anything you say out your mouth, you can manifest. So even in your most angry moments, your most saddest moments, your most depressive states, be careful what come out of your mouth, because that can become your reality. But other than that, when you just venting it, yeah. Be careful. Be careful at all times, no matter what you do. But that's why when you're really pissed off, take a deep breath before anything come out your mouth, because you can say some shit and the universe is gonna make it so, and you're gonna be speaking negatively, and you're gonna be having to fight through that thing. But I'm talking about just venting as venting as in venting. Okay, when you're just venting, you be saying all kind of shit just because you're mad. That's where road rage come from. You just venting, and you in that moment where you just mad. Okay, so there's no way you can be in love with a person, okay, and y'all in a relationship. Okay, you in love with that person and you mad at that person. There's no way you can be mad at that person and in love and vent to that person. No way.
I mean, no, maybe
I don't like
over
arguing. I don't
some
like
time
confrontation.
gotta
So
pass,
some
but
people check they mate and it be a whole situation, but that needed to be said type of shit. So that is a possibility. But in my experience, the way I am, I can't be completely in love with you and completely pissed off with you and talk to you about how I feel about you.
So you can talk to the opposite sex.
I can talk to a friend or somebody I can vent to. Like,
But a friend could be the opposite sex, and you think you saying it won't lead to something, or you saying it will. What's your answer on it? I mean,
I'm saying it always will lead to sex. I'm saying that if you have a person that you vent to, if it takes 25 years and after that relationship is over, after you get a divorce and that person is single, y'all confided and poured love into each other. Because when you vent, you don't just one person just vent and you just sit there and be like, damn. You be like, no, it's all good, sis. Fuck that dude. You ain't got to go through this. I got your back. You ain't never got to just depend on him for this and that. You good enough to get anything you want. You encouraging that person. The other person, the ventee, if I could say that, the ventor is venting, and you as a friend, even if it's just pure friendship, if the ventor is venting and the friend is on the other line or sitting there while you venting, their job is to listen, console, and encourage. Period, point blank.
so you think the opposite sex person, the male, if you're a female and vice versa, will convince you in the bed?
Kendra,
I'm just saying, like,
listen,
I
hold
feel
on,
like you can have a
hold on,
genuine
hold on,
relationship
hold
with the
on.
opposite sex.
If I was your
And-
friend for more than 10 years and we was just friends, okay, and we was just friends without a flirtatious nature, we've been friends for over 10 years, right? And you was married, and you know what I'm saying, you felt dumb for going to your friends because they've been told you to leave the motherfucker alone, and we just so happened to end up in a conversation at a bar one day or somewhere just talking, and you was, you know what I'm saying, emotional, crying, and I'm your friend, I'm gonna put my arm around you. Come on, it's all good, sis. What's wrong? And you get to telling me what's wrong, and you sitting there talking for an hour straight, and I'm just listening. After I listen and watch you cry, I'm gonna encourage you. I'm gonna say it's okay. I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's okay. You all right. You gonna get through this. You better than this. Over and over again, my words consoling you, and after you confided in me, and I didn't try to sexually advance on you, I didn't try to remedialize none of your points, and didn't try to belittle you, and had your back all this time. Hell yeah, I'm finna get some. I'm sorry, I got carried away, but I don't think it's possible to confide in and reside in someone's.
So we got two no's and a yes, I guess. So the men say no, and the woman say yeah.
So y'all comment on that one too.
She wouldn't say yeah if it was the opposite, though. She wouldn't want her man to do it. That's the difference with women. But anyway,
hold on. One more question, RJ. Can you have an ex that's just a friend? We got time, or we gonna this next episode? We're gonna
let's have to do a next episode.
We're gonna make y'all
man.
come back. We're gonna make y'all come back.
Hold on. Now, what you said? That what was the last thing you said?
Can you have an ex that's still a friend?
Nah, that's a whole another episode. Chocolate gumbo. See how I keep doing this? We gonna listen. We ain't trying to do no 2-hour episodes. We try to keep it short and simple, but it'd be so good. We just don't want to stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We want to bring y'all this goodness each and every week. And that's a great question. We want to hear your responses. We want to hear your comments. Please DM us. Can you have a friend that's an ex? Would that fly? Y'all tell us. I don't know.
Facebook, Instagram,
I'm gonna keep
YouTube.
my responses to next time.
What's the handles? It's on Instagram.
Chocolate Gumbo, the podcast, on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube and all audio platforms. We are Chocolate Gumbo, the podcast. Go subscribe, go like, go share, comment, whatever
Follow.
topics that we haven't touched on yet, y'all want to talk about, DM us, comment it, leave it in the comments, and we got you. Until next time.
And if it's any sugar mamas watching this episode that's ready to split that little retirement check with your boy,
Jesus.
I do backyards, I do basements, I do garages, Christmas lights, everything.
Big Keith, he doing everything. That's RJ. He getting all the sugar mamas ready, y'all. Once again, y'all, this is Chocolate Gumbo, man. It's been real. It's been nice.
Hey,
you know, we got to end on a high note. We could talk all day, but unfortunately, we ain't. All right. So we catch y'all next time. Y'all catch us each and every
Till
Sunday.
next time.
Subscribe, follow, and share.
Let's do it. Chocolate Gumbo.
Chocolate Gumbo.